Welcome to the Astral Mage. My name is Heidi, and today's topic is mediumship. Welcome back, everyone. Today I would like to delve into the intriguing world of calling up spirits and spiritualism and mediumship. In order to gain some insights, I attended a mediumship workshop. As I entered the Fool, which is the magical esoteric space that many of these circles and workshops are held, I was surrounded by the familiar feeling of mystique and magic and the coolness of this cellar air. And there's this big, beautiful antique table with a red tablecloth, and all of the people start to come in and sit down and make themselves comfortable. And Mark started out with explaining a little bit of the history of mediumship in the Western world and spiritualism. Spiritualism is actually a term. I wasn't aware of that either. And the definition is, I will put it right here, the definition. Let's get into what we talked about. So Mark talked a little bit about some of the influential people who kind of really inspired this spiritualism movement. And one of those people was Helena Blavatsky. It's so hard for me to read that. And she was a mystic and a writer, and she was very influential in that mediumship area. And also the Fox sisters. This was all around the 19th century. And the Fox sisters, they were also very famous mediums. There were 3 of them. And they became very famous for all these knocking sounds that were coming when they would call up the spirits. And yeah, they did enjoy many years of success as mediums. However, eventually one of them confessed that they had been doing these sounds with their hands and their feet. So, that just came, everything just came tumbling down. They lost their fame, and it was a big scandal. However, they were still very influential people regarding the creation of spiritualism and the way that they did the mediumship. So what exactly is mediumship? In simple terms, mediumship is the practice of connecting with spirits and communicating their messages with others. It can be categorized in 2 main categories: the mental mediumship and the physical mediumship. So mental mediumship involves, the medium speaking to the client's ancestors or spirits, deceased loved ones, and then bringing forth some sort of evidential pieces of information to validate their connection. Physical mediumship, on the other hand, encompasses a very wide range of different phenomena. It's like there may be seances involved, Ouija board, and then actual physical things that happen, like everybody's got their hands on the table and then the table lifts, or actually hearing knocks and noises. Or there are mediums that are said to exude this kind of substance called ectoplasm, which supposedly aids in moving objects. So I'm not saying that's not true. I'm just saying, let's keep our minds open. Mark mentioned a medium who uses trumpets to have spirits, converse with people through the sounds of his trumpet. Also another one who spits out gems. I found this story to be kind of funny. Mark was also chuckling about it, but there is this medium who, when he's in his, magical phase, just somehow spits out gems out of his mouth. And so the people that go to these events, they'll tie him up, and they're these nice old ladies who are is that tight enough for you? And making sure that he's only wearing a t-shirt and shorts, and making sure that he's got nothing on him, and then taping his mouth shut, putting lines of felt marker around the tape so that it's clear that he hasn't tampered with it, and then putting him in a closet. And when they then take him back out, he spits out these gems, and these gems are dry. And they say this, I guess, so that you don't think that he kind of they came out of his stomach. Crazy stuff. But anyway, the next thing that we did together in a group was exercise a group exercise called psychometry. Psychometry is when a person can receive information by touching a thing or a person. So the information might come in form of ideas or pictures or feelings or even scents. So Mark passed around this little bronze turtle that when you open it up, it had something inside. And he passed it around to each one of us to see what we could feel, and really, focused on that. And it was very interesting what came out there. What some of the people were feeling or seeing was similar. And in this case, I didn't feel anything. Sometimes it's like that, I didn't feel or see anything. But at the end, Mark opened up the little turtle, and he had put a piece of paper in it with a pentagram on it and some notes of what he felt when he held it. And actually one of the other people in the group had also seen a pentagram when he held it. And I thought it was a little bit interesting because he said he had seen the inverted pentagram, also the upside down pentagram. And then I wondered, was he maybe holding the turtle upside down, so that he saw it like that? So the last thing we did together was, all being around the table, opening ourselves up to whatever activity may have been in the room, whatever spiritual activity was there, if there was anybody there. We all were very quiet, very focused, very centered. Some of us had our eyes closed. And then after a few minutes, we spoke about what we saw, what we felt. And that's very interesting because people will definitely have a different viewpoint of what is there, just because each and every one of us have a very unique way of seeing and feeling things. So that is what I have for you today on this topic. There is so much here to get into in much more detail, but that's what I have for you today. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you next time. So please remember to subscribe and like, because that's a huge help. And remember, your magical experience matters, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
If we get to the point where we kind of do something with the table, that we're not saying, oh, spirits move this table, but that it's more about this table is made out of wood. It has a history, it has a tree attached to it. There's something going on. Maybe we tap into the dryad that's connected with that table,